All right, we are back for part three of mindful strategy. These are the steps that we are utilizing as health and safety professionals to get out of the rat race, the exhaustive cycle of firefighting, reactive action, and checking the box. We're replacing all of that with thriving mindsets, intentional action, and we are getting results. I actually utilize these same strategies to get myself out of burnout, but I didn't really talk about the other side of burnout and what that looked like for me. So I was able to start my blog, be elected to board of directors, do some public speaking, write a publication, do webinars, and really my life thrived. But not only did my life thrive, my team was thriving. I had people coming in that maybe weren't as excited, but they were singing coming into work. And then my organization itself was actually taking responsibility for the health and safety program. And that's where we are today when we talk about the last two steps of mindful strategy. And those steps are commitment and execution. So, with commitment, I went from an organization where I felt somewhat like the health and safety program was really on our shoulders, and it wasn't really owned by everyone in the organization because we weren't getting the results that were expected. And what I ended up finding after implementing these strategies was this level of commitment that was unmatched. I reported directly to the vice president. My peers were directors and senior managers in the region. And it went from everybody kind of turning and looking at me as the EHS manager and saying, okay, so what next, Sabina? Or why is this that way? To having conversations with senior vice presidents or in our leadership meetings and not really being able to speak because the level of ownership that the team had taken on was unprecedented. It was everyone was chipping in saying what they were doing, what their departments were doing, how they were owning health and safety. In addition to that, we were having external audits where we would have several findings from external audits, and that got nixed. We had auditors coming in, packing their bags early, saying that they had left with more best management practices than they did findings. Not only did we have the commitment from our leaders, but we had to start off being really committed ourselves. What are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we going there? And digging down deep and saying, yes, we're in it. There was a level of agility that needed to be in place because our support network, there were some people that, I don't know, working on great compromises here. So, what makes you a little bit more comfortable about this plan? How can we get your commitment? How can we get your buy in? And that was a huge transition for us in our health and safety program. So, whether you are utilizing these mindful strategies for yourself or for an organization or a team, we have to have that commitment. That commitment needs to have some agility. And some of the questions I like to ask in that process is what's holding us back? What is not allowing us to truly commit? And a lot of that should have already been dug through and figured out in our truth versus story. So, one of those steps in the first video to understand where we truly are, where our struggles could be, and what could hold us back from achieving that greatness. Our next step is execution. So, we've created the vision. We've dealt with our truth and our story. We know who we are, where we are, why. We believe in ourselves. We have our support tree. We know who's there for us, what their roles are. We are nurturing those relationships. We have built the strategic plan out. We have identified our goals. We are descriptive. We are reasonable, attainable. We have identified how we create an effective, efficient, and sustainable plan for the next 3 to 5 years. We have the commitment of our leadership team, of ourselves, of every level of the organization that shows up on our support tree. And now all we need to do is put in work for the next 3 to 5 years and actually execute. And I laugh when I say that, but that is the hardest part. So there are some key areas that we focus on in order to get us where we need to go in that long-term plan. And the first of those is communication. People need to know what is happening, where are we going, why are we going there? Because if they know why they are doing it, then the action becomes much more intentional. And that's the point. We want people to be taking intentional actions that get us to that next level of performance. Then we want to create accountability. And then lastly, we want to have our key performance indicators. So what lets us know that we are on track, that our actions are giving us the results that we need to have in order to say that our strategic plan is successful. And as an added bonus, the operational plan. The operational plan is your 1-year plan. So each year we are creating a plan that says these are all the areas that we need to cover in order to stay on track with our strategic plan and the key performance indicators that allow us to know that. But those 1-year plans should be connected to something much larger, because as we make those agile movements, we want to make sure that we are being intentional for the long-term goal and not just churning our wheels. I hope that you have found immense value in this series of videos. If you have and you know someone else will, please, please, please feel free to like, comment, and share it with them. We are working on getting out of the rat race. That intentional action, the thriving mindsets, and we are obtaining these just extraordinary results that take us away from that exhaustive action. In addition, I will be personally guiding 6 individuals through the mindful strategies that I have used to not only get myself out of the rat race, but others and their programs as well. So if you are one of those folks that found value in what we learned here and are ready to dive a little bit deeper and get to that next level of performance, there will definitely be an offer coming for you soon. And in addition to that, all of the mindful strategies will be in a PDF that I will be sending out later this week. So I hope that you are subscribed on SabinaColligan.com so that you get that email later on this week. I am so grateful that you have stuck it out with me for these 3 videos around mindful strategy, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of the rat race.